It's been nearly half a century since the Xenomorph first stalked our nightmares, but this time it's coming home. For decades, Alien has trapped us in a cold, silent terror of deep space, where help was light years away and survival meant outsmarting the perfect predator. But in Alien, Earth, the rules change. The black void is replaced by familiar skies, and the horror isn't lurking in an abandoned derelict. It's moving through our cities, our homes, and our streets. This isn't just another sequel or spin-off. It's a chilling prequel that rewires the DNA of the franchise. It blends the claustrophobic dread of the original Alien with the grand-scale human drama of a civilization on the brink, showing us not just the monsters we fear, but the corporate greed, political corruption, and moral compromises that let those monsters in. Here, survival isn't about escaping into space. It's about realizing there's nowhere left to run. Before Ripley, before the Nostromo, before we even knew what a xenomorph was, the terror had already begun. Alien. Earth rewinds a timeline to a point when the threat wasn't a whisper in Weyland-Yutani boardrooms. It was a secret buried deep beneath our feet. The series opens with the unearthing of a dormant black site research facility, long forgotten by the very corporation that built it. Within its sealed chambers lies the genetic evidence of something inhuman, a biological weapon that was never meant to see daylight. But daylight is exactly where it's headed. By dragging the horror out of the vacuum of space and planting it in the middle of Earth's fragile ecosystem, the stakes skyrocket. There's no containment breach in some far-off star system. It's here, where every failure has immediate, catastrophic consequences for the planet itself. And unlike the cramped corridors of the Nostromo or the isolated colonies of aliens, there's no single airlock to blow. Humanity is now the battleground, and Earth is a hive. Forget the flawless action heroes of blockbuster sci-fi. Alien, Earth trades laser-focused Marines and hardened veterans for something far more vulnerable, ordinary people staring down an extraordinary nightmare. Our survivors come from every walk of life. A corporate archivist whose job was never meant to involve running for their life, a single parent caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, a disillusioned ex-military engineer who swore never to pick up a weapon again. Each is flawed, each is human, and that's what makes them dangerous to themselves. They bicker when they should plan. They freeze when they should run. They make mistakes, and in Alien, mistakes are fatal. That unpredictability fuels the tension, because when the xenomorph comes, bravery and cowardice look the same in the split second before the kill. Yet, amid the panic, familiar archetypes emerge. The reluctant leader, the skeptic, the one who knows more than they're saying. In subtle ways, these characters echo those we've loved and lost from the earlier films, creating a thread of recognition for longtime fans, while keeping newcomers guessing who, if anyone, will make it out alive. In this story, there's no Ripley to rally behind, at least not yet. On a side note, Alien, Earth has a cast of a perfect mix of seasoned stars and rising talents ready to put their stamp on the franchise. Leading the charge is Sydney Chandler, best known for her breakout role in Don't Worry, Darling. Joining her is Alex Lawther, whose quiet, calculating demeanor hides more than one dangerous secret. Rounding out the main ensemble, we have Essie Davis bringing gravitas as a no-nonsense corporate executive, and David Ristol playing an idealistic engineer caught between loyalty and survival. Fans are also buzzing about a surprise appearance from Timothy Olyphant, though details about his role remain tightly under wraps. It's a lineup designed for tension. People with wildly different agendas, all forced into the same fight and possibly against each other. On the other hand, the xenomorph you knew from the original films isn't the only nightmare lurking in Alien, Earth. This series reveals a horrifying new chapter in the creature's evolution, one shaped by Earth's ecosystems and Weyland-Yutani's twisted genetic meddling. On our planet, the xenomorph adapts. No longer confined to classic form, these monsters mutate into grotesque hybrids, part insect, part amphibian, part machine. Picture creatures with eyeballs where none should be, slick, fly-like appendages, and bone structures that twist in impossible directions. This evolution isn't just visual flair. It fundamentally changes how the creatures hunt and kill. Some variants thrive in flooded urban ruins. Others stalk the shadows of industrial wastelands, while some even mimic human traits, blurring the line between predator and prey. Longtime fans will catch references to expanded lore, but the show isn't content to rest on nostalgia. It pushes boundaries, presenting fresh, spine-chilling designs and behaviors that force characters and viewers to rethink what they thought they knew about the perfect organism. This is evolution as weapon. And on Earth, it's a battle humanity can't afford to lose. Alien, Earth doesn't just drop the xenomorphs into a new setting. It digs deep into the dark, pulsing veins of the franchise's history and pumps fresh dread into its mythology. This chapter of the saga shifts the spotlight toward the earliest, dirtiest secrets of Weyland-Yutani, not as a faceless corporate boogeyman, but as a living, breathing predator in its own right. Through shadowy boardroom dealings, hushed military contracts, and covert expeditions gone wrong, we witness how the seeds of humanity's downfall were sown decades before Ripley's crew ever picked up that distress call. The show sprinkles in classified reports grainy found footage of failed containment breaches and archival fragments that Connect.'s fans have been chasing for decades. For longtime followers, these aren't just Easter eggs. They're answers to questions left festering since Prometheus and Alien. Covenant. Why was Weyland-Yutani so obsessed with the xenomorph? Who first ordered the weaponization project? And just how many times did they fail before unleashing the horror on a scale they could no longer control? Every revelation feels like a gut punch, proving the nightmare was never a freak accident, but cold, calculated risk in the name of profit and power. Newcomers will see the corporate machine in all its amoral glory, while veterans will realize with dread that every step in the franchise has been part of a single, chilling plan. If you think you've seen everything the Alien universe can throw at you, Alien, Earth is here to prove you wrong. This series goes beyond chestbursters and facehuggers, pushing into grotesque new territory with hybrids, experimental mutations, and evolutionary offshoots that feel disturbingly plausible within the established biology of the xenomorph. The horror here is layered. There's a visceral shock of transformations happening before your eyes, skin crawling with parasitic movement, and the suffocating panic of characters trapped in spaces where every surface might be alive. Practical effects bring a tactile realism to the gore, while CGI subtly enhances the impossible. Elongated limbs in narrow corridors, jaw configurations that defy human comprehension, and creature silhouettes glimpsed just long enough to haunt your imagination. The narrative doesn't pull punches with its twists either. Characters you trust make devastating choices under pressure. Alliances fracture in the most brutal ways, and survival often comes at an unthinkable cost. Just when you think you've identified the safe moments, the show yanks you into another nightmare. It's not just about what you see, it's about what you can't unsee. Beneath the gore and relentless tension, Alien, Earth is ultimately a story about the human condition, what we cling to, what we surrender, and how far we're willing to bend our morals when survival is on the line. The series poses a central question that has haunted the franchise since 1979. Is survival worth it? If you lose what makes you human? Here, that question isn't just rhetorical. It's woven into every subplot. Soldiers face orders that conflict with their conscience. Scientists struggle with the temptation to preserve specimens at the cost of human lives. Civilians must decide whether saving loved ones is worth unleashing horrors on the rest of humanity. Identity plays a critical role as well. With memory loss, false records, and possible doppelgangers in the mix, characters are forced to confront the terrifying possibility that who they think they are may be a carefully constructed lie. In some cases, the line between human and alien becomes dangerously blurred, not just physically, but philosophically. There's also a deep exploration of trust, how quickly it erodes under fear, and how impossible it becomes to rebuild when every choice could be fatal. The show doesn't offer neat answers. Instead, it forces viewers to wrestle with these dilemmas alongside the characters, ensuring the horror resonates long after the screen goes dark. Bringing Alien, Earth to Life meant honoring one of cinema's most iconic creatures, while terrifying a new generation of viewers. The production embraced a hybrid approach, blending painstakingly crafted practical effects with cutting-edge CGI. The result is a creature presence that feels tangible, wet, and unnervingly alive, yet still capable of doing things that could never be achieved without digital trickery. The practical effects team built full-scale xenomorph and hybrid suits, designed for maximum realism under harsh lighting. The performers inside underwent intense physical training to replicate the unsettling, almost insect-like movements that have haunted the franchise for decades. Meanwhile, the CGI team added flourishes like impossible contortions, jaw-splitting reveals, and terrifyingly fast attack sequences. Ridley Scott's return as executive producer provided more than just brand continuity. His meticulous attention to visual storytelling influenced everything from the camera angles to the sound design. His directive to make it feel like the air itself is unsafe shaped the production's approach to lighting and atmosphere. The design team went deep into the archives, pulling and used concept sketches from H.R. Geiger's original 1979 designs. These eerie biomechanical blueprints inspired new alien forms, some disturbingly beautiful, others grotesque beyond imagination, that still carried the DNA of the franchise's aesthetic. Even the sets were constructed with subtle nods to earlier films. An airlock here, a scratched-up cryopod there, tiny breadcrumbs for devoted fans to spot. Behind the camera, a rotating team of horror-focused directors brought varied flavors of dread. Some episodes lean on creeping, slow-burn tension, while others unleash sheer chaos. Across all of them, the goal was the same: to make the monsters feel real enough that you'll swear you can hear them breathing behind you. Even before the official release Alien, Earth has been making waves in early critic circles and fan screenings. The buzz? This is one of the boldest expansions of the franchise in decades, both in scope and in sheer nerve. Many reviewers are praising its world-building, noting how the series blends hard sci-fi with grounded human drama. The oppressive atmosphere, thick with shadows, steam, and the constant hum of unseen danger, has been compared to the best moments of Alien 1979 and Aliens 1986. Standout performances from the lead cast, especially in the morally gray roles, are drawing special attention, with critics calling them the most human characters the franchise has seen in years. Another consistent highlight: the bold creative risks. From showing new alien evolutions to taking the story beyond familiar locations, the show manages to surprise even longtime fans. There's an appreciation for how it weaves in deep-cut lore without feeling like fan service for its own sake. That said, it's not without criticism. Some reviewers point out that the multiple hybrid subplots, while intriguing, occasionally slow down the pacing, especially in mid-season episodes. A few also noted that the sheer density of lore could overwhelm casual viewers who haven't followed the franchise closely. Still, the consensus is clear: Alien. Earth is a worthy, terrifying successor that respects its cinematic roots while carving its own space in the saga. In the words of one early review, it doesn't just revisit the nightmare, it evolves it. Alien. Earth isn't just another spin-off. It's a bold reimagining of what the alien universe can be on television. By blending raw, unflinching horror with layered human drama and deep franchise mythology, it delivers an experience the films never had room to fully explore. It's a series that dares to slow down and dig deep, exploring moral compromises, corporate ambition, and the personal cost of survival, all while keeping the xenomorph threat just one breath away. Every episode is a cocktail of dread and intrigue, never letting you get too comfortable before the next burst of chaos. Whether you're a die-hard fan who can quote the original films or a newcomer drawn in by the promise of high-stakes sci-fi, this show offers something you won't find anywhere else. The alien mythos expanded to its most terrifying potential. The show premieres on August 12th, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on FX, with episodes streaming weekly on Hulu. Get ready. The nightmare is evolving, and this time, it's coming to your living room for you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.